Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and today is March 18th, 2026. And we have a live stream today for all the good folks out there. Hello to all the decoders. Give me a thumbs up in the live stream chat if the sound is coming through. And then we have that out of the way as usual. Thank you, Coffee Girl. I was waiting for you. Appreciate you. Always the first one. And thanks to everyone who's already in the chat. As usual, we have a very interesting decode for today, and hopefully you guys will find this interesting and informative. It's going to be kind of piggybacking off of what we've been talking about for the last week or two. I guess we're going to touch on a bunch of things, or we're going to recap some stuff, and then we're going to get into the new info and just kind of expand our knowledge on this esoteric stuff. Of course, that's what I'm doing every day, is just expanding my esoteric, the stuff I know, and trying to make the best decodes possible. So anyway, I appreciate you all as usual, and I'll give it another minute or two. We can get some more people in here, and then we'll get started. So hello to Coffee Girl. Much love to you. Matthew, hello. Sojourn, hello to you. Not Grim, hello. Maggie McCombs in the house. Hello to you, Maggie. XX also in the house. Yeah, maybe we'll talking about the meteor in Ohio. Yes, I covered that in the Eye to Eye podcast last night with AJ Rambo and Cody, me. But maybe we'll touch on that again at the end if we have time. But just trying to get some more people in here before I start. That way people aren't too far behind. Wildflower, hello. Revelation Watchman, hello to you. God bless you. Let's see. I think I got everyone so far. Full Armor in the house, hello to you. God bless you as well. All right, so we got 66 so far. Let me get the stream ready here. Let me take myself off. And we'll get into this. So don't forget to like and share if you guys enjoy it, if you guys enjoy the content. Really appreciate that as always. So the first things we're going to get into here as we get some people filing in here, we're going to recap the events of the last 10 days or so, going back to the Crowley video that I did. We might also touch on the Mother Mary stuff, which I touched on 2 days ago with the Strait of Hormuz. Just refreshing you guys, the Mother Mary stuff. This also connects with what I'm going to talk about today, because again, we're going to be talking about March 20th and how it connects to Barron Trump, who's, again, it's his birthday. So, and I'm telling you guys, this is a huge birthday for Barron Trump. This is not just his normal birthday. Let's just say that. This is a very important birthday for Barron Trump, very important birthday to Thelema and Aleister Crowley. And in this video, I'm going to show you that and how this is a one-time only synchronicity for this March 20th, which just brings extra importance to this year, 2026. I'm not saying anything specifically might happen on the 20th. It could something happen. Tomorrow has 68 date numerology. I guess we could touch on that for a minute. Tomorrow does have 68 date numerology, which is the numerology that all the world wars have started on. So do definitely keep your eyes on the news tomorrow for the war stuff, because again, World War I, World War II, and the Ukraine war all started on numerology date of 68. And tomorrow, March 19th, does have that date numerology. Tomorrow is also Sirhan's birthday. Interestingly enough, with all the Middle East stuff going on right now, I find it super interesting that this is like the only assassin who's still alive. And look where he's from, guys. Jerusalem. So I want you guys to think about how we got the war going on with Israel, and this assassin Sirhan, who was connected to Robert F. Kennedy, whose son is now in the politics. His birthday's tomorrow, and he is still alive. Okay, so he's still in jail, living supposedly. And again, he's from Jerusalem. So that's just a quick heartbeat on tomorrow, March 19th, which is also an interesting day. Maybe something with, I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting that this is like, out of all the assassins, the famous assassinations, this guy is still alive, right? So that's interesting for tomorrow. Keep your eye on that as well. Thank you to the 105 of you in here. And let's get into the meat of the presentation. So I titled this video, The Aeon, okay? And of course, in Thelema, and let me just emphasize what Thelema is. Thelema is the religion, once again, from Aleister Crowley. And again, Thelema is all about the Aeons. And we are currently supposedly according to Crowley, we are in the Aeon of Horus, okay? And in my last videos on Trump and Horus, I showed how Baron Trump was born on the anniversary of the invocation of Horus. So Baron Trump, in my opinion, is born on the specific day to go with Thelema and to go with the Equinox, which is all what this is about. So we're going to touch on all these subjects. We're going to touch on the Aeon, the 20th card in the Crowley Tarot deck. We're going to touch a little bit on Jack Parsons, who was a part of the Thelema religion. And we're going to touch on the Book of Thoth and also a little bit on some other things. So let's get into it. This is a recap, okay? Most of you guys have already seen this. So what started all this? Well, it was 10 days ago or 8 days ago on March 10th, on the 1-year anniversary of the Crowley ship, of the ship that was the Crowley ship that collided, as I revealed in my last live stream, on March 10th, 2025. A year later, on March 10th, 2026, we had the very esoteric ritual of Bam Adebayo passing Kobe Bryant with 81 points to get 83 points. And the only person that was ahead of Bam Adebayo is the very famous basketball player, Wilt Chamberlain. And I showed how Wilt Chamberlain is a ritual to Aleister Crowley, and there's no denying it. There's absolutely no denying it. Wilt Chamberlain is do what thou wilt, which is Crowley's saying. And Wilt Chamberlain died on Crowley's birthday, okay? So that's a recap, right? And then I showed you how Wilt Chamberlain, the basketball player, he equals the Book of the Law in Latin in all ciphers, including the English Kubala cipher, which is the cipher derived from Crowley's work, okay? So this is Crowley's cipher, the English Kubala. So that's the recap, right? And then remember how the game was 150 years, 150 days after Crowley was born, and the score of the game was 150 total points for the Heat. And the guy who became second place to, Wilt Chamberlain, equals 150, like the Book of the Law in Latin equals 150. So you guys remember all this mind-blowing stuff. So this is what led me to all the Baron Trump stuff. Now remember, when Bam Adebayo passed Kobe Bryant, he did this at Pat Riley Court. Pat Riley Court, because Pat Riley is the owner of the Miami Heat. And when is the birthday of Pat Riley? March 20th, okay? So this is where we started. Now on March 20th, 1904, Crowley and his wife, Rose, did the invocation of Horus, which was also called the Supreme Ritual. And again, Pat Riley, the owner or the president of the Heat, who Bam Adebayo just did that ritual with Aleister Crowley, he's born on March 20th, which is Aleister Crowley's date of the invocation of Horus and also Baron Trump's birthday. So it all leads back to March 20th, the equinox. Now, remember, Baron Trump, this is so clear, guys, and I've never seen anyone else show this. This is new information that I'm pioneering, and I'm really trying to get more people to see what's really going on with Baron Trump. And again, we know who Donald Trump is, of course. We've looked so much into Donald Trump, but what about the son of Donald Trump? Again, in Thelema, it's all about Horus the child, okay? And the child of Donald Trump, of course, is Baron. Now, remember the invocation of Horus on March 20th, 1904 in Egypt was called the Equinox of the Gods, and the Equinox of the Gods equals 102. And 102 years after the Equinox of the Gods, the initial one, was the birth of Baron Trump. What's the odds of that, guys? Perfect alignment. Now, in Aleister Crowley's cipher, Thelema, his religion equals 102. And don't forget that invocation of Horus in reverse equals 235, and Baron William Trump in ordinal equals 235. So again, this is a recap, but remember, this is the significance of Baron Trump being born on this day exactly 102 years later, okay? This is what Baron Trump is. He is the Horus invocation, okay? I had to convince myself of this, but I'm convinced now because I've seen enough to know that this is all about Baron Trump and the invocation of Horus. It's exactly why Baron Trump is born on the day he's born. It's exactly why Aleister Crowley had the Moonchild book, all right, which the Moonchild is Horus, okay? Now, remember, going back to Kobe, remember, Adebayo just passed Kobe. Now, when Kobe broke the record with 81 in 2006, the same year Baron Trump was born, it was 8 weeks and 1 day before Trump was born. Kobe scored 81 on 122, and invocation equals 122, and Horus equals 81, like ritual. Now, this is where it gets crazy, guys. From the original invocation of Horus to Trump's birthday this year, Baron Trump, it's 122 years, okay? This is the 122nd year since that big ritual in Egypt. Why is that so significant? Because occultist equals 122. When Kobe passed 81 points, he did it on 122, and he did it at an invocation ritual. So this year is the invocation year. It's the 122nd year. Satanic also equals 122 in gematria. It's the word satanic, all right? We just had the Super Bowl in San Francisco, which lies on the 122nd meridian, and San Francisco equals 122. Seattle just won the Super Bowl, which also lies on the 122nd meridian. Seattle equals, what is it? Yeah, anyway, Seattle also lays on the 122nd meridian, okay? So this 122 is a huge number this year, and with the Super Bowl that just happened last month, and then now on Baron Trump's birthday, it's going to be the 122nd anniversary. So now we need to understand another very important number with Thelema, and we're going to look at Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons was the occultist Thelemite who studied under Aleister Crowley. Now, there was a very important number associated with Jack Parsons. And think about how Jack Parsons is also associated with rocketry. Again, shout out to Rambo, who's been all over Jack Parsons. If you guys have missed any of our Eye to Eye podcasts, Rambo has been all over Jack Parsons recently. But what I want to mainly point out here about Jack Parsons is his number was 210. And this is the number that I'm going to use to connect to the 20th birthday of Baron Trump, who is, I believe, a ritual to the Horus, okay? So in the context of Thelema, Freighter 210 is the magical motto used by the rocket scientist and occultist Jack Parsons. Parsons chose this specific number because 210 is the numerical value of the Hebrew word for night. How about that, guys? All the stuff going on with Israel right now and the Hebrew connection here, okay? The Hebrew word for night is 210. So Jack Parsons took this word and used it as numerology and gave himself the name Freighter 210. Now, in Gematria, in the Aleister Crowley ciphers, occult knowledge equals 210. Of course, that's what Jack Parsons studied, occult knowledge. Now, we're going to look more into this number, but I just want you guys to understand why this number is important to Thelema and why it's important to this whole riddle, okay? So, remember, 210, I just showed you the importance, but 210 is actually a triangular number, and 210 is the 20th triangular number. Now, why is that so important? Because 210 is not only the number of Jack Parsons, it's the number of the ritual that was done on March 20th, 1904, called the Supreme Ritual. If you use Aleister Crowley's ciphers once again, and you type in the name of that ritual, which was also called the Invocation of Horus, Supreme Ritual equals 210. Wow. So why do you think Jack Parsons took on the number 210? Because in Crowley's ciphers, the ritual that he did to start his religion was called Supreme Ritual, okay? So, yeah, I think you are right, Gene Splice. The Hebrew word for night is not the Hebrew word. I think it actually is the Greek word. I'll have to go check that later, but it's not so important. But either way, he took it as the word of night. Okay, but yeah, I think you're right. So the supreme ritual equals 210. Now, the woman who performed the supreme ritual or the invocation of Horus with Aleister Crowley, her name was Rose Edith Kelly. What are the odds that in reverse gematria, Rose Edith Kelly also has the 210? So the supreme ritual has the 210, and the Rose Edith Crowley Kelly has the 210. Now, why is the 210 so important with March 20th in 2 days? Because 2 days from now, Baron Trump, who is the invocation of Horus, he's going to be turning 20 years old on the 20th. What is the number 210, guys? 210 is the 20th triangular number. Do you see how it all fits together now, guys? You see why the number 20 is so significant? Do you see why the fact that Baron Trump is turning 20 years old in 2 days on the 20th is so important? Remember, the original ritual of the Supreme Ritual was on the 20th, the same day as Baron Trump. So it's all about this 20, right? And that's because the number 210 is the 20th triangular number. But this is the slide that brings it all together. So hopefully you guys can understand how this all comes together. But look at this. So not only does Rose Edith Kelly equal 210, not only did Jack Parsons take on the number 210, not only did the Supreme Ritual equal 210, but look at this. When the original ritual was done, it was on the 20th. Again, 210 is the 20th triangular number. It was done on the vernal equinox. So the original Horus ritual was done on the vernal equinox, which equals 210, folks. Now, years later, on March 21st, 1944, Crowley would release his book called The Book of Thoth. And in that book, it would be released on the equinox, the vernal equinox. And check out the name of the book. The Book of Thoth equals 210. It was released on the vernal equinox. Everything in Thelema is about the vernal equinox. That's why they called it the equinox of the gods. And here we are, 2 days away from the next equinox of the gods on Baron Trump's 20th birthday. And again, the 210 is the 20th triangular number. This is why this is a super important birthday to Baron Trump. Now, what is the Book of Thoth? The Book of Thoth is about tarot. And the word tarot equals 20. Now check out the name Thoth in just basic ordinal gematria. Thoth equals 71. What's 71? It's the 20th prime number. Do you guys see how this all goes back to the number 20? The 210 goes to 20. Tarot equals 20. The number 71 for Thoth goes back to the 20th prime. Baron Trump was born on the 20th. The equinox of the gods is on the 20th. Now here is where it gets absolutely crazy, guys. What is the 20th tarot card? The Aeon. The Aeon is indeed the 20th card of the major arcana in Aleister Crowley's Thoth tarot deck. In tarot terminology, the major arcana are traditionally referred to as trump cards. So we know how important Donald Trump is. But Aleister Crowley has a book called the Thoth Tarot Deck. There is a kid named Baron Trump who's born on the equinox of the gods, and his name is Trump. And the tarot cards are the trump cards. And who is born on the 20th? What's the 20th tarot card? It's the Aeon. Okay. Somebody's saying it's pronounced Asian. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's how it's pronounced. It seems weird to say Asian. I'm just going to say Aeon for now because I think that sounds cooler. But Thoth Tarot Deck equals 210. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Migo. Oh my gosh. Thoth Tarot Deck. Oh my gosh, guys. I didn't even know this. Look at this, man. Thoth Tarot Deck 210. I mean, you see, this is like proof on the stream. This is proof. Okay, so let's go back to the 20th tarot card, the Aeon. If you go to the normal Rider-Waite deck, the 20th tarot card is the Trumpet, guys. Do you see what I'm showing you here? What is being blown? I mean, I guess you could call it a horn, but it's basically a trumpet. What is being blown on? So this is the original Rider-Waite tarot, okay? It's the trumpet, guys. And you see the children? You see the kids? Like Baron Trump is the child of Trump. This is the Trump card, okay? There's only one Trump born on the equinox of the gods, and it's Baron Trump. It's not Donald, it's Baron, okay? Donald's not born on the equinox of the gods. Baron is. Baron is born on the trumpet card, the judgment card. He's born on the Aeon card, okay? And the Aeon card is perhaps one of the most important cards in the tarot deck of Aleister Crowley because his whole thing was about the Aeon, okay? So if we go back over here to my slides, you're going to see, but check this out. Not only does the Aeon equal 32, well, so now we have to bring another number into this. 32 is the 20th composite number. Look what Baron equals in reduction. In the same cipher as the word the Aeon card equals 32, Baron equals 32. Are you coding me, guys? So even in the same cipher, okay? Let me just bring this up so you guys can see it visually. If you type in the Aeon and you type in Baron, again, his name is Baron, you're going to see that it's a 2-cipher match. Look. Baron, right? And the Aeon, which is the name of the card, right? So check that out. The Aeon is Baron, okay? You guys get what I'm showing you here. Like, no one else has talked about this before. No one's looked enough into Baron, I guess. At least I haven't seen, I mean, I'm sure there's decoders out there. But the point is that Baron is born on the 20th day of the month. He's born on the 20th. He's going to turn 20. The 20th card is the Aeon, and Baron equals the Aeon, okay? And the 32 is important because 32 is the 20th composite number, which again takes you back to the 20s. It all goes back to the 20, okay? That's why that's why this year is so important, the 20th birthday, okay? It's so, so important. It's the Aeon. It's the Judgment card in tarot stands for healing. Interesting. This major arcana card signals great transformation and renewal and change. The basic symbol of the Judgment tarot card is an angel and the trumpets, guys. Literally, the other card is the trumpets. So you got a guy named Trump. The tarot cards are the trump cards, and there's a trumpet on the 20th card. And again, Trump, Baron Trump, born on the 20th. So if you put this whole slide together, you're going to see that this is undeniable. This is what this is about. 2020 vision, somebody said. Yeah, what happened in 2020, guys? You know what? I think there's also something else that equals 210 that I think connects to that. Let's see. Let me look. I think something to do with the COVID equals 210. Hold on. Antichrist system, 210. Key to the universe, 210. As above, so below, 210. Wuhan COV, you know what, equals 210. So yeah, Wuhan, occult knowledge equals 210. Novus Ordo Seclorum equals 210. Interesting. There's probably other things, but the point is, this all goes back to, this is a very important number in Thelema, because this is, again, why did Jack Parsons, Year of the Horse equals 210. Wow, great addition. Year of the Horse, 210. Horus. You guys get it? Horus. It's almost the same thing. But again, it all goes back to Jack Parsons. Why did Jack Parsons take on Freighter 210, right? It's all because this number 210 is the most important number, one of the most important numbers in Gematria for this Thelema religion, okay? Rose Edith Kelly, the wife of Aleister Crowley, equals 210. The Supreme Ritual equals 210. The Book of Thoth equals 210. The Vernal Equinox, 210. Thoth Tarot Deck, 210. So we've gotten that in our heads, right? Which is the 20th triangular number. And again, this is a bit redundant, but the Aeon is the 20th card in the major arcana. It's the Trump card. Trump's born on the 20th. He's going to turn 20. That's a redundant slide. I forgot to get rid of this slide. It's not really needed. But now to the mind-blowing part, guys. This is the mic drop moment. So this is all about the number 20, right? Or the 20th day of March, or the 20th birthday of Baron Trump. Now, if you go to the Aleister Crowley ciphers, I want you guys to look at what I found here. Look at this. Aleister Crowley's book, the Book of the Law in English, equals 166. Okay, so this is, but how does the 166 tie to this 210 and 20? Okay. In Aleister Crowley's cipher, Baron Trump equals 166. Baron Trump was born on the 20th day of the month. 20th equals 166. The woman who helped create the tarot deck, which features the 20th tarot card, the Aeon, is Lady Frida Harris. She equals 166, like Baron Trump. And I thought it was super interesting. But when you combine the name Baron and the Aeon card into the same gematria, it also equals 166. Now, Baron Trump was born 102 years. I want you guys to look at the number 102. The number 102 is not also different from the number 210, right? Baron Trump was born 102 years after the creation of Thelema. That's the anagram of the number 210. Look at what the number 102 equals in ordinal. 102 equals 166. Like Baron Trump was born 102 years on the 20th after the Aeon started, okay? And again, the most important book in the whole Thelema, the Book of the Law, equals 166. Baron Trump in the Thelema ciphers, guys. Baron Trump equals 166. And what's the odds that Baron Trump equals the creator of the Thoth Tarot deck, Lady Frida Harris? But here is where we get to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to show you why March 20th in 2 days is so important, more important, it seems, than any other March 20th. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't other important March 20ths, but let me show you why. Based off of what I just showed you about this 166 and the importance of this number, 166, I want you to see how old Aleister Crowley is going to be on 2 days from now on this date, March 20th. Look at this. Aleister Crowley will be 54,000, if he was still alive, he would be 54,946 days old. That's the 166th hexagonal number, like a hex. Guys, are you kidding me? On this very important day, on the day that Aleister Crowley started Thelema, on Baron Trump's 20th birthday, which equals 166, like Baron Trump, Aleister Crowley will turn the 166th hexagonal number old. Guys, this is undeniable. This is so significant, man. This is the creator of this whole religion. And he's going to be 166 hex, a curse, magic, hexagonal number. And this is only time this can ever happen, guys, on Baron Trump's 20th, which equals 166. In Aleister Crowley's ciphers, might I add. In the ciphers that derive from Aleister Crowley's books, Baron Trump equals 166 and 20th equals 166. The woman who helped create the tarot deck, Lady Frida Harris, 166. So it's just so crazy, all right? It's so crazy how this aligns. And again, how does the 166 tie back into the 20? It all ties together because 20 connects with the 210. And when you type out the word 20th, it equals 166, which gets us right back to this. Please hit the like buttons, guys. Again, what I'm showing you is stuff that I've never seen anyone else talk about. And this is something that I'm going to feature on my channel because I feel like this is a very important part that no one's talked about before. And there might be people out there that have looked into this, but I know that as far as a channel, like I said, I can't believe this alignment here. This alignment here in itself is enough to blow my mind, just this slide. But if you connect it back to the 210s, it's even more mind-blowing. So I don't know what's going to happen on March 20th. Maybe nothing specific on that date. Maybe it happens after that. because this is the new year, guys. This is the vernal equinox, again, which equals 210. And so it could happen anytime after this date, but Baron Trump is essentially the new year, right? Which is why Aleister Crowley started his religion on the vernal equinox, which is why he released the Book of Thoth on the vernal equinox, which is why Baron Trump was born on the vernal equinox, okay? That's what it's all about, the vernal equinox, which equals 210, okay? So in my opinion, maybe Aleister Crowley knew that the vernal equinox equaled 210, and maybe that's why it seems like the whole religion is connected with the number 210. Okay, because everything that there's so many ways this number connects. Now, remember, this is all connected to Kobe Bryant. We got caught onto this because of the Bam Adebayo passing Kobe Bryant. Remember, which I clearly connected Kobe Bryant's ritual of 81 points to Horus and Baron Trump, right? But what is 210 days before tomorrow? Look what's 210 days before tomorrow. It's Kobe Bryant's birthday. Kobe Bryant's birthday is 210 days before Baron Trump's. Are you coding me? The vernal equinox, which equals 210, is 210 days after Kobe's birthday. Oh, that's Maggie McComb's birthday too. Yeah. So yeah, wow, interesting, right? So that means that Maggie McComb's birthday is 210 days before the vernal equinox, which equals 210. Okay. And again, we know that 210 is the 20th triangular number, but 210 is also the 12th pentagonal number. And yeah, people in the chat were saying how the number 201 and 102 and all these iterations of this number are all very significant. We know that Baron Trump was born 102 years after the Crowley founded his religion. But notice this, that when you type in the number 210, it's the 20th triangular number and the 12th pentagonal number. These are the same digits. 20 and 12 are still the same three digits, 2, 0, and 1. Aleister Crowley, when's his birthday? October 12th. What are the digits in Crowley's birthday? It's all the same three digits. October 12th is the same digits. In fact, if you write Crowley's birthday, look at this. If you write Crowley's birthday out like this, 1210, right? Do you guys see how there's a 210 in there? So that's Crowley's birthday in England, where he's from. If you write his birthday out, there's still a 210 in there. It's the number 1210. So that's even connected to Crowley's birthday in a way. Crowley released the book, The Soul of Osiris, which equals 210. Really? No way. The Soul of Osiris. Hold on. Crowley. The Soul of Osiris by Aleister Crowley, and supposedly that equals, guys, if this equals 210, can there really be any denying any of this? And again, shout out to Migu. Why does that keep happening? Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. The Soul of Osiris equals 210. How many of the things that Crowley has released equals 210 now? The Book of Thoth equals 210. The Soul of Osiris equals 210. The Vernal Equinox equals 210. World Frog Day, interesting, is March 20th. Interesting. I wonder if that equals 210. No, it doesn't, but does equal Donald J. Trump, though. Equals 32, Frog Day. But yeah, frog. I mean, frog is like a tongue, right? I'll have to look more into that, how the frog might connect. Well, if you think about it, frogs might have a connection to fertility too, I think, right? But yeah, great addition, man, by Migu. The soul of Osiris equals 210. I mean, just ridiculous. So just going back to this, you know, and then he found another one for us earlier, the soul of Osiris, the Thoth tarot deck, right, equals 210. The vernal equinox. Just want to get it all up for you guys to see here. 210. The book of Thoth equals 210. So yeah, I mean, these are all directly associated with Aleister Crowley. Jurassic's in the chat. Shout out to Jurassic. And Aleister Crowley's real full name is Elvis Presley's full name, and the number 210 you'll get. Oh, you know what else, Garo? If not only that, if you'd go to Aleister Crowley's cipher, look at, okay, so Garo just gave me another connection to Elvis Presley and 210. But look at this. If you go to Aleister Crowley's cipher, okay, this is the Aleister Crowley cipher. Look at what Elvis Aaron Presley equals. Are you coding me, folks? This is the second stream in a row where we figured out that it's all connected to Elvis again. This is in Crowley's cipher, guys. His full name equals 210 in this Crowley cipher. And Garo just told me that if you add Aleister Crowley's real full name and Elvis's full name and the number 210, you get 666. So like I said, I know Garo probably doesn't want to use this Crowley cipher, but this is literally the cipher derived from Crowley's book. I mean, is it any more obvious than that? English Kabbalah. You see this? If you just, there's a Wikipedia page for it, even English Kabbalah, EQ, the Hermetic Kabbalah-based arithmancy. It's a made to interpret Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law. Okay, so this cipher literally comes from his books, and it just so happens that Elvis Aaron Presley equals 210. So we might even talk about Elvis here because I found some crazy stuff connecting Elvis and his granddaughter, who, remember, the movie that's coming out on March 20th is called Project Hail Mary, okay? And Project Hail Mary features a guy named Ryland Grace. Now, in the last stream, we said that Ryland Grace is literally the words Graceland, okay? Let me find it here. So remember, the main character is Ryland Grace. Elvis is connected to Graceland, okay? So Graceland is literally in the name of this character in this movie. Now, who is currently the owner of Graceland? Is it not Riley? Guys, is not the owner of Graceland not Riley? The name of the character in the movie is Ryland Grace. Are you guys, let me raise your hand in the chat if you guys are picking up what I'm laying down here. Ryland Grace is the character in the movie. Graceland is in the word Ryland Grace, and the other two letters are Rye. And the name of the Elvis's granddaughter, who currently has control of Graceland, is Riley. Now, who did I already connect to March 20th with the basketball thing? Do you guys remember how Bam Adebayo broke the record in Pat Riley court? Do you guys get what I'm picking down here? This Riley Keough is super important, man. I started looking into her, and boy, I think I have a whole decode. I'm sure Jurassic has also got already a lot on her, but I mean, she was in the movie called Magic Mike. You don't think that might be connected to Crowley? But do you guys know how I've been talking about the number 136? I want you guys to see what Riley Keough equals. Look at this. Guys, Riley Keough equals 136. After all the decodes I've been doing lately on 136, her name literally equals that. And check out how in Sumerian, because remember, Sumerian cipher is the ordinal cipher times 6, right? So that means Riley Keough equals 136, Mother Mary equals 136 and 816, Virgin Mary equals 136 and 816, the Jesuits equals 136 and 816. So you guys get it? I don't know why the 816 is not coming up, but when did Elvis die, guys? When did Elvis die? 816. So again, his granddaughter has the same gematria as his death date. Now let me go to my notes, but check this out. Elvis purchased Graceland on 3/19, guys. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Elvis purchasing Graceland. And how old was Elvis? I think Garo's already showed this, so shout out again to Garo. How old was Elvis when he purchased Graceland? Look at this. So he purchased Graceland on March 19th. Look how old Elvis was on the day he purchased Graceland, folks. He was 816. He died on 816. This is the day he purchased it. And that was one day before the equinox of the gods. And this is what this whole decode started out as. But he purchased it 8,106 days in his life. And again, he would go on to die on 816. And now his granddaughter who owns it equals 816. And remember, the tarot deck, which was created by Lady Frida Harris. Well, Lady Gaga is a tribute. Lady Gaga is a tribute to Lady Frida Harris. I've done a decode on her before. She is a clear tribute to Aleister Crowley. Why is that? Because if you take Lady Gaga's full name and you type it in the Crowley cipher, oh my gosh, Riley Keough equals 150 in Crowley cipher. Is this not another number I've talked about? Oh my gosh. But check this out. Lady Gaga's full name equals 418, okay, in Crowley cipher. Well, Lady Gaga or Aleister Crowley is based off the Book of the Law. And what's the number plastered right on the front of the Book of the Law? It's 418. Now, Lady Gaga released an album. Now, again, Lady Gaga's full name equals 418. That's Crowley's number on the Book of the Law, 418. Now, Lady Gaga released a music last year called Abracadabra, but she also released a song called Die With a Smile. And when did she release that birthday, guys, or that song? On 8/16, Elvis's death date. Are you coding me? A former Elvis impersonator, Bruno Mars, releases a song on Elvis's death anniversary with Lady Gaga, who's connected to Crowley. And August 16th is the death anniversary of Elvis. And the song is literally called Die with a Smile. Elvis died on the toilet, probably smiling, taking a big dump. I don't know if Elvis was smiling when he supposedly died, if he even died, but if he died on the toilet, taking a big dump, reading the book of, what was he reading? The Jesus, Seeking the Face of Jesus or something? And yeah, again, die with a smile on Elvis's death date. And then again, he purchased Graceland when he was 8106 days old. And Riley Keough equals 1816. Okay. And Graceland is connected to Mother Mary, right? Mother Mary equals 816. But that brings me to Lady Gaga again. We got to make this connection with Lady Gaga. So I showed you that from Crowley's birth to from Crowley's birth to 2 days from now is 166 hexagonal days. But what if we go from Crowley's death to October or March 20th? So Crowley, if you go from Crowley's death to 2 days from now, his death will be exactly 28600 days old. Well, that's a pretty perfect number, isn't it? 286. Well, check out how old Lady Gaga will be on the same day that Crowley's death will be 286. Lady Gaga, right? Clearly connected to Crowley. Yeah, you guessed it, guys. Lady Gaga on the same day that Crowley's death turns 28600 days, Lady Gaga will turn exactly 2086 weeks. Now, why is this 286 so important? Because the day that I'm measuring to is the day leaving 286 days in the year. And as I showed in my last decode, it's all about the spring, because spring equals 286. And spring starts on the day leaving 286 days in the year, right? So Jurassic Liars says he's possibly going to do a video on March 19th. Because again, March 19th is the day Elvis purchased Graceland. So yeah, guys, be on the lookout for Garo's video on March 19th. I actually have some connections with March 19th. I don't know if I was even planning on sharing it in this decode. Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to share a bit more on this Elvis stuff. While Garo's in the chat, again, make sure you guys go subscribe to Garo too, because he is the Elvis. I mean, there's no one that knows more about Elvis than him. And I learned everything I know about Elvis from him. So pretty much. Also, Gladys Love Presley is Elvis's mother's name. And I found it interesting that in the Jewish cipher, Gladys Love Presley equals 1957. So why is that important that his mom's name equals 1957? Well, Elvis purchased Graceland in 1957. So coincidence? I don't think so. Also, people in the chat are saying that Age of Aquarius, which is essentially the same thing that Crowley was talking about, Age of Aquarius if you spell it right. I'm having trouble spelling it, but guys, Age of Aquarius equals 210. What the heck? So here's another 210. That's crazy. So again, the age of Aquarius is essentially the vernal equinox because again, the age of Horus started on the vernal equinox. The age of Aquarius is essentially another name for Crowley's age of Horus, Aeon of Horus, essentially. And again, Crowley's book, The Soul of Osiris equals 210. Thanks to Migu in the chat for that. So again, March 19th, 1957, Elvis purchased Graceland for a price of $102,000. Guys, 102. 102,000. Are you kidding me? I was just talking about how Baron Trump was born 102 years after. But yeah, Graceland says right here, March 19th for 102,500. So that's like the number 125. What's interesting is Gladys, his mom, was 1,600 and she was, hold on. So Elvis's mom was exactly 16400 on the purchase of Graceland. So I hope you guys are understanding, but Elvis's mom was this old on the purchase of Graceland, right? 164. Well, 164, if you look that number up, 164 is the 125th. Let me pull it up here. 164 is the 125th composite number. And again, how much did Elvis buy Graceland for when his mom was 16400? He bought it for 102,500. It's like number 125. Interestingly enough, I think if you type in Elvis Graceland, I think it has in the Bacon cipher, it equals 125. So that's interesting. Mathematical perfection equals one. Oh, and guys, if you type out the number of the days that Elvis's mom was on the purchase of Graceland, it sums to 125. And again, 164,400 or 16,400 equals 125. So there's a really interesting connection with Graceland and the 125 and Elvis's mother. Again, it's all going back to his mother, Mother Mary, Grace, Hail Mary, full of grace. This is why you have a movie coming out on the 20th called Hail Mary, which features Graceland, Ryland Grace. So March 19th, March 20th, both huge days to watch. And it all connects to Elvis. It really does. I think the rest of this stuff I can leave out for now. Oh, one of the episodes of the Aleister Crowley show called Strange Angel. So Strange Angel is all about Thelema and Jack Parsons. Well, there was an episode that released the last episode of that first season was called The Sacrificial Dance. And I thought it was interesting that the sacrificial dance equals the Book of the Law, the 150. But the sacrificial dance came out on Elvis's death date again. So now we talked about like 3 different times Elvis's death date has come up. The last episode of The Strange Angel, which is about Crowley's Thelema and Jack Parsons, the last episode, The Sacrificial Dance, came out on on Elvis's death date. Lady Gaga released her song Die With a Smile on Elvis's death date. Also, Lady Gaga, she had an album called Mayhem that came out last year, and the single off of that album was called Abracadabra. So Crowley is clearly connected to abracadabra, right? That was his magic word, abracadabra, right? So when Lady Gaga released this, it was a tribute to Aleister Crowley. I showed you her full name equals 418 in Aleister Crowley's ciphers, which is the number on the front of the Book of the Law, 418. Somebody in the chat saying sacrificed equals 210. Sacrificed equals 210. In what cipher? Oh, really? In Latin. Interesting. Good one. Definitely one to throw in there. So yeah, sacrificed equals 210 in Latin. Guys, there's 210 in the chat. It happens every stream, man. I know I say it. I'm just going to stop saying it from now on, guys, but you guys can see the 210 in the chat, right? You guys see it. This is so ridiculous. Sorry, Christy. I'm not ignoring you. There's so many comments going by. I'm not trying to ignore anyone, but there's 210 in the chat. Hold on. What are you saying, Christy? Say it one more time. Christy Cherry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. Well, what's the issue? And let me know what's going on in the chat. I'm watching for your comment. Okay, so hold on. So this is the comment from Christy. She says Aleister Crowley created Thelema worship, and Mama's family is Thelema Crowley Happer. Wait, who's Mama? Wait, I'm Mama's family is Thelma Crowley. Wait, who's Mama's family? Am I missing it, guys? Am I missing something? Who's Mama's family? Thelma Crowley Happer. Hold on, let me. Mama's family. Yeah, see, I've never even heard of this show. It's a show, huh? Yeah, look at that. So look at that. It came out on January 22nd, the day Kobe broke the 81 points. What is this? Okay, so see, I learn stuff every day, guys, and thanks to you, thanks to Christy. I'm gonna have to look into this. Mama's family, Thelma, kind of like Thelema. Wow, this is interesting. So how about this? Does anyone know? Let's see. Let's just see what Thelma Harper equals. I mean, this goes perfectly with the mother stuff. Oh, equals 125. I was just talking about that number. Crowley. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Crowley. Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I'm gonna do this on live, but I'm gonna have to look into this show now, man. It's clearly tied. I mean, it's got Crowley. It's got Thelma, which is like Thelema. Thelma May Crowley Harper. Oh my gosh, look. In the Crowley ciphers, her name equals 210, guys. Look. Oh my gosh. They had to stamp the 210 on it. You know what I mean? This is in the Crowley ciphers. Okay, this is in the Aleister Crowley ciphers. 210. Not in the ordinal ones, but whenever you're decoding Aleister Crowley, you need to use these ciphers. That's just how it is. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Um, man, I'm just kind of like interested to see what I can find. Look, guys, even was I not talking about Bam Adebayo? This was where this all came from. Look, in the Crowley ciphers, Bam Adebayo's full name equals 210. Guys, this whole thing started after Bam Adebayo's ritual on the basketball court, and his whole name equals 210 also, man. Are you coding me, man? In the Crowley ciphers again. So all these things are 210, man. Every single one of them. So this is a number. The significance of this number, guys, is it's Crowley's number. It's a number connected with all of his stuff. You know, it goes back to Jack Parsons. And again, shout out to Rambo for revealing or really getting me onto this. Yeah, 210 is the 20th triangular number. I talked about that because, you know, Barron Trump's going to turn 20, right? Like this 210 is the 20th, you know. All right. Some people filing out. I guess they've had enough of the 210s. But thank you to the people who've stayed around and listened. Let's see if we can get to 210 likes. Akhenaten equals 210, really? Yeah, and thank you, Christy, so much for the great info with that show. I'm gonna even look more into it, but and yeah, like Adam said, 210 is the 20th triangular and the 12th pentagonal. Let's see. David Crowley and the Gray State. Is that a show too? Wait, what is David Crowley? One second, guys. David Crowley. The Gray State. Wait, what is this? Oh, it explores the death of David Crowley. Oh, there's a mill. So when you first type in David Crowley, there's an actor, there's a politician. Look, he has Israel's birthday, guys. David Crowley. Man, we got to be watching out for this guy. David C. Crowley. He's got that 136. Man, didn't I already see some of these numbers? Surprised it doesn't have the 210, but it does have some of the other numbers there. Yeah, anyway, you guys are giving me some good stuff to look into. The show, this show thing here, and then the David Crowley. Remember, there's a Crowley shipping company as well. I showed that in the last decode. So we are going to start wrapping this up. I'm tired. To be honest, guys, I had a long day. The water was out, and I didn't eat anything all day. I'm fasting. Well, I did eat some, but I'm kind of on a cleanse here a little bit. I'm eating less and mainly to save money, but I didn't eat much today, so I'm super tired. Don't have a whole lot more energy left. But tomorrow I will be eating more. The last few days I haven't eaten enough or very much. So, but it's good for you. It gets you more self-discipline when you don't feed your hunger all the time. But thank you to all the people who gave extra stuff. Thank you for everyone for listening. Let's see if we can get to 210 likes. We got 191 in here. I don't know if we can get to I don't know if we can get to 210 likes now, but I used to fast all the time, guys, but recently in the last couple of years I started fasting less. But I'm definitely, you'll notice that when you don't eat, God, it's like the manna from heaven. You guys know in the Old Testament where they're in the wilderness and they don't have food, and then they get the manna from heaven. So when you're not eating, God can really speak to you, and you really you develop more. It goes deeper, right? So it's like the manna from heaven. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to Jurassic Liars for all the great Elvis connections. Shout out to Migu, who made some great additions as well in this decode. Yeah, when you starve the flesh, your spirit gets stronger, right? That is definitely true. The flesh is just a temporary thing anyway. But anyway, I'm tired, so I'll get off here. But you guys have a great rest of your night. You guys take care. And again, I can't tell you guys how appreciative I am of all of you. And so I will see you guys back here in a few days with another decode. So God bless you all, and till next time.